Let me tell you something honest. Being broke is not the real problem. Staying the same is the real problem. Money comes and goes. It's a transient visitor in your life, flowing in and out with circumstances, economies, and luck. But skills, they are permanent residents. They embed themselves in your mind, in your hands, in your way of thinking. They become part of your identity. If today your bank balance is low, your confidence is low, or your future feels uncertain, don't panic. That panic is the real enemy, the force that paralyzes you into staying exactly where you are. History has proven again and again that people who invest in the right skills can rise from nothing and build everything. Look at the landscapes of industry, technology, and art. They are built by individuals who started with empty pockets but full minds. You don't need rich parents, powerful connections, or perfect timing. Those are external crutches that can be. Let me tell you something honest. Being broke is not the real problem. Staying the same is the real problem. Money comes and goes. It's a transient visitor in your life, flowing in and out with circumstances, economies, and luck. But skills, they are permanent residents. They embed themselves in your mind, in your hands, in your way of thinking. They become part of your identity. If today your bank balance is low, your confidence is low, or your future feels uncertain, don't panic. That panic is the real enemy, the force that paralyzes you into staying exactly where you are. History has proven again and again that people who invest in the right skills can rise from nothing and build everything. Look at the landscapes of industry, technology, and art. They are built by individuals who started with empty pockets but full minds. You don't need rich parents, powerful connections, or perfect timing. Those are external crutches that can be kicked away in an instant. What you need are skills that compound for life, assets that grow in value the more you use them, tools that no market crash can devalue and no one can ever take from you. When I was young, the world was very simple, or at least it seemed that way. The path was linear and clearly marked. If you studied hard, got good marks, and followed the rules, people believed you would have a good life. You would get a stable job, a steady income, and a predictable future. But today, the world is completely different. That old map is useless. The rules change faster than textbooks can be printed. Technology evolves faster than teachers can update their lesson plans. Entire industries are born and become obsolete in the time it used to take to get a single promotion. And opportunities appear and disappear faster than people can even react. In this kind of volatile, exhilarating, and demanding world, what you currently know is not nearly as important as how fast you can learn something new. Your existing knowledge is a snapshot of a past reality. The biggest mistake people make is believing that learning ends after school, that graduation is the finish line of intellectual growth. That belief is a trap. Real learning, the kind that shapes your destiny, actually starts when school ends. It starts when you are faced with a problem no textbook covered, when you encounter a technology that didn't exist last year, when you have to adapt to a market shift overnight. That is the classroom of life, and the tuition is paid with your curiosity and effort. Learning faster than the world changes is not about being the most intelligent person in the room. I was never the smartest student. I failed exams, I failed interviews, I was rejected many times, told I wasn't good enough, wasn't the right fit, didn't have the right pedigree. But every failure taught me something new. Every no contained a lesson in what yes would eventually require. Learning fast means being curious, being open, and being humble enough to admit what you don't know. The moment you think you know everything, you stop growing. You seal yourself in a room of your own assumptions while the world moves on outside your door. The world does not reward pride, it rewards adaptability, the graceful, relentless ability to bend without breaking, to absorb new information and reshape yourself. Today, many jobs that exist will disappear in the next 10 years.
Many skills that are valuable today will become useless tomorrow. This is not something to fear. Fear is a waste of energy. This is something to prepare for with clear-eyed determination. If you depend on one single skill for your entire life, you are taking a monumental risk, like building your house on a single eroding pillar. But if you depend on your ability to learn new skills, you are always safe. You have a foundation that can support any new structure the future demands. Learning fast gives you freedom, the ultimate currency. Freedom to change careers when yours becomes obsolete. Freedom to start again after a setback. Freedom to survive and even thrive when others panic because their one trick no longer works. Learning fast also means learning from everywhere, not just from formal classrooms. Learn from people younger than you because they see the future sooner. They are native to a world you had to immigrate to. Learn from people older than you because they understand timeless mistakes and human nature better. Learn from books, from failure, from quiet observation, and from listening, truly listening to the world around you. In my life, my biggest teachers were not professors in lecture halls, they were experiences. Every mistake was expensive, but every lesson was valuable, carved into my understanding with the chisel of reality. Many people say they don't have time to learn. This is the biggest excuse, a lie we tell ourselves to avoid the discomfort of growth. If you have time to scroll mindlessly through social media, to complain about your situation, or to compare yourself with others, you have time to learn. The difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is not raw intelligence, it is how they use their time, those invisible, incremental units of life. Successful people invest time in learning things that will help them tomorrow, not just entertain them today. They trade temporary distraction for permanent capability. Learning fast also requires the courage of unlearning. This is often the most difficult part. Sometimes the very knowledge, habits, and strategies that helped you succeed in the past become the anchors that sink you in the future. Old habits, old ways of thinking, and old comfort zones that once felt like safety can slow you down in a race that demands speed and agility. You must have the courage to let go of what no longer works, to discard mental models that have become obsolete. The world respects people who can change themselves before they are forced to change by circumstance. The former is leadership, the latter is survival. In the future, machines and artificial intelligence will be better than humans at many things. They will calculate faster, remember more data, and work without fatigue. But machines cannot learn with genuine curiosity, creativity, and emotion the way humans can. They cannot connect disparate ideas from different fields to create true innovation. They cannot feel the frustration of a customer and design a solution born of empathy. Your advantage is not in competing with machines on their terms, but in mastering your human capacity to learn, adapt, and work with change. The faster you learn, the more valuable you become, not as a repository of information, but as an adaptable problem solver. Learning fast is not about speed only. It is about attitude. It is about saying yes to challenges that intimidate you, yes to new ideas that contradict your assumptions, and yes to the discomfort that always accompanies growth. Growth is uncomfortable by definition. If you are always comfortable, you are not learning. You are stagnating in a warm pool of the familiar. Every new skill will make you feel stupid, clumsy, and frustrated at the beginning. That feeling is not failure. It is the signal of progress, the sign that you are stretching beyond your current boundaries. When you are young, you don't need to worry about earning big money immediately. That worry short-circuits your potential. You need to worry about learning big lessons. Money will come later as a consequence of the value you create. Skills will stay forever, the engine of that value creation. If you spend your early years chasing only money, you may lose both money and learning. But if you spend your early years learning how the world works, how people think, and how complex problems are solved, money will eventually follow you. It has no other choice because you will have made yourself valuable. This relentless learning builds a unique kind of confidence, not the loud, boastful confidence that comes from showing off titles or possessions, but the quiet, unshakable confidence that comes from knowing you can adapt. When you trust your own ability to learn, you are not afraid of change, you expect it. You're not paralyzed by failure, you see it as data. You are not afraid of starting again from zero, you know you can rebuild. This internal confidence is more powerful than any degree or job title. It is the bedrock of a resilient life. The future belongs to people who can learn faster than new problems appear. Those people will always find a way. They may fall, but they will rise stronger because they learned why they fell. They may lose a battle today, but they will win the war tomorrow because they adapted their strategy. In a world that never stops changing, learning fast is the only skill that guarantees not just survival, but growth and opportunity. It is the meta skill, the skill that unlocks all other skills. But learning alone is not enough. You must be able to communicate that value, to translate your internal understanding into external impact. When I meet young people, many of them tell me they have good ideas, but nobody listens to them. This is not because their ideas are bad, but because they cannot express them clearly and compellingly. An idea locked inside your mind has no value to the world. It is a tree falling in an empty forest. Only when an idea is shared, understood, and accepted does it begin to create opportunity, to gather resources, to move people. Communication is the bridge between your thoughts and the future you want to build. It is not about speaking perfect English or using complicated jargon. I have met many people who speak simple language with profound clarity and move millions. I also met people with excellent grammar who cannot convince a single soul. Good communication is about clarity, honesty, and authentic confidence. When you speak clearly, people trust you. When you speak honestly, people respect you. When you speak with genuine confidence, people believe you. In business and in life, opportunities flow to those who can explain what they want, why it matters, and how it helps others.
If you cannot explain your own value, the world will systematically underestimate you. Investors will not invest. Customers will not buy. Leaders will not promote you. Communication turns your latent potential into tangible performance. It allows others to see what you see and believe what you believe. And remember, listening is the most underrated half of communication. Most people listen only to reply, to prepare their next point. But true communication starts with listening to understand. When you listen carefully, you learn what people truly want, what they secretly fear, and what problems they are desperately trying to solve. This knowledge is incredibly powerful. It allows you to speak directly to their needs, to connect rather than just talk. People don't care how much you know until they feel that you understand them. In today's digital world, your written word is also a constant communicator. Your emails, messages, and social posts speak for you when you are not in the room. If your writing is unclear, sloppy, or tone-deaf, people will judge you and often dismiss you without ever meeting you. Clear writing reflects clear thinking. It shows discipline and respect for the reader's time. Even a simple, well-crafted message can open doors that a rambling, careless one slams shut. Many people stay silent, crippled by the fear of making a mistake, of being judged or misunderstood. But silence is far more dangerous than a stumble in speech. When you don't speak, your ideas effectively do not exist. Every confident speaker you admire once spoke poorly. Every great leader once struggled to articulate their vision. The only way to improve is to practice, to fail, to be misunderstood, and to try again with more clarity. And this communication is not just external, it's also the dialogue you have with yourself. The way you speak to yourself in your mind shapes your reality. If you constantly tell yourself you are not good enough, your actions will conform to that belief. But if you cultivate an inner voice of constructive self-belief, your external communication gains unshakable strength. So if you feel broke today, understand this. Strong communication can create opportunities out of thin air. You can communicate your willingness to learn, your hunger to grow, your commitment to contribute. These qualities attract mentors, partners, and chances. Money may be absent today, but your voice, clear, honest, and confident, can build the bridge to bring it closer tomorrow. In the end, ideas have the power to change the world, but communication is what gives those ideas a voice, a platform, and a path to reality. Without it, talent remains hidden, effort goes unnoticed, and potential withers in the dark. When you learn to express yourself with clarity and listen with depth, you stop being invisible. You step into the light, and your value becomes undeniable.
If this video motivated you, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss future content. Comment below and let me know where you're watching from and what goal you're working toward. Share this video with someone who needs motivation today. Let's grow and win together.